Okay, let's take a look at that KD ratio. We're up to 2.094. Before you click away, for those of you who seem to get their panties in a twist that I open my videos with, let's take a look at the KD ratio. It's my thing. Seems like every YouTuber has a thing. Like Critical Drinker, his thing is, go win now. I'm sorry, I do a horrible Scottish accent. But that's my thing, right? I open with the KD ratio. So I'm up to 2.094. It continues to climb. The reason for this video is to kind of justify why it keeps climbing. I still lose gunfights with the sweats, but I seem to be doing pretty good in armored vehicles. So, when I'm getting 60, 70, in fact, last night or the night before, I got 93 kills with 1 death. You do stuff like that, your KD ratio goes up. And so this is my Wednesday workup, or workup Wednesday workup, where I'm going to talk about driving vehicles and how to be successful at it. At least this is my experience. I don't claim to be an expert, but I do claim that I can get 10 times more kills than I get deaths out of armored vehicles, and it helps the KD ratio. So with that said, this video is going to be released twice. One is going to have this introduction, and it's going to have the vehicle loadouts and why I have it loaded out the way I do, and then just pure gameplay. Right? You can watch the gameplay, hear the squad, chatter, and then the second one I'll have voiceover. So I'm going to release it twice at the same time, one with voiceover and one pure gameplay, and they'll be labeled that way. So let's get the thing fired up and get it started. So the come on, there we go. The first we're going to look at the tank. Now this is the way I have 3 profiles, right? 3 loadouts, 1, 2, and 3. Every one of them is identical. I use high explosive as my primary. I don't use armor piercing as my primary. I don't use anti-personnel as my primary. I use high explosive. The reason for that is that high explosive is pretty universal. I can kill people. I can hurt vehicles. I can take out jeeps. I can take out armored transports. I can take out IFVs. I'll switch to the armor piercing, if I need to. Excuse me. The anti-personnel, you cannot blow holes in buildings. You can't drop buildings with the anti-personnel very easily. So then you're constantly switching between your primary and secondary, right? So then you got to have a high explosive, blow a hole in the building, send in the anti-personnel. Just make it easy, right? High explosive it's a great general purpose. It does a great job against people. It does a pretty good job against vehicles. Use armor piercing as your secondary against armored tanks or IFVs with extra armor. For the weapons, or for the machine guns, LMGs, light machine guns. That's it. Everybody thinks that as soon as they get the heavy machine gun, the HMG, that they upgrade to it. The problem with the HMGs is that Battlefield does not adequately model an HMG. An HMG is a 50 caliber BMG, Browning machine gun. A 50 caliber bullet is a 750 grain slug that delivers 14,500 foot-pounds of energy. To put that in perspective, a 44 Magnum puts out about 900 foot-pounds of energy. Okay, so a BMG is generally an anti-personnel or an anti-material weapon system. It cracks engine blocks. It stops cars. It stops jeeps. It stops vehicles. Right? Excuse me. It shoots through walls. It kills things on the other side. If you get tagged in real world with a 50 BMG, you will hit the ground in more than one part. It will take pieces off you, if not a whole bunch of pieces off you. Battlefield does not reflect that. It takes fewer hits to kill somebody, but you're still having to hit them 2, maybe 3 times with a BMG before you drop them. But the problem is it's slow firing and it overheats all the damn time. Your job, especially as your gunner, the gunner's job is to keep people away from the vehicle and the little damn robots away from the vehicle. And if your gun is constantly overheating, or you're having to constantly stop fire to let it cool down, so it doesn't overheat, you're not doing your job. The vehicle, they're getting in there, they're getting too close to the vehicle. If you watch my other videos, there's a reason why I can get in there with C4 and blow a tank, no dinner required, so easily. I basically sit back and wait until I hear the HMG overheat, then I run up and drop the C4 and blow the tank. The light machine guns are faster firing, they don't overheat as quickly, and when they do, they recover quicker. I have tried HMGs and I've tried LMGs, and the LMGs dominate in anti-personnel. Period. Leave the tank and the IFV's main gun to go anti-vehicle. The LMGs as a secondary coaxial or on the gunner's position, the job of that weapon system is to keep people away from the vehicle, and the LMGs do it better than the HMGs. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I had dinner not too long ago. So I'm going to beat this hard in this LMGs all the time. Then I set up for emergency repair, reinforced plating, and equipment countermeasures. That's my loadout for tank. I use it all the time. I am pretty successful at it. For IFV, I have 3 loadouts. Loadout 1 is anti-personnel. High explosive, again, I don't use the anti-personnel, I use high explosive. Secondary is rockets. The rockets are quick, they quick reload. Usually by the time the primary is reloading, because you only get a handful of rounds before it has to stop and reload, you can flip over to the secondary light rockets. You can get a couple light rockets off. By the time you switch back to your primary, it's already reloaded, and you can pretty much get a continuous fire. Thermal blocking and the smoke walls, that benefits the primary mission of the IFV. The IFV is to be a mobile spawn point and a heavy weapon system support fire for the infantry that are capping the points. You need to push with this vehicle. You need to get into those cap points. You need to lay down the smoke so that your engineers can get out and repair your vehicle, or that they can deploy and cap the point. Using the light machine gun to suppress fire and the heavy machine gun to take out, tow missiles, take out buildings, blow holes in buildings, drop the buildings, fend off any vehicles that might be coming. But the mission of the IFV is to get in and deposit people on the cap. Period. That's what the IFV is for. You need to be thinking about that when you equip it. The loadout number 2, which should be switching here in a moment. By the way, reinforced plating is pretty, it requires 4 C4 packs to blow it instead of 3. It takes a hell of a lot more damage. Use it, right? Now the second one I have set up for anti-tank. And so again, high explosive, but I have lock guided secondary. Not a big fan, because you're gonna have to be exposed, and you're gonna have to hold that cursor on the enemy vehicle long enough for it to get a lock. If he deploys smoke, if he gets behind a building, you lose lock. You can't fire it. You can't blind fire a lock guided. This is kind of like goes back to the shoulder weapons that we used, that we talked about like last week. RPG, you can snap fire it. You can fire it without a lock. Right, you can, and you cannot do that with a lock guided. You can't blind fire it. So, I'm not a big fan. Emergency repair, threat detector. Right, you want to see the mines. You want to be able to jam the locking mechanisms. Light machine gun, light machine gun, light machine gun. Can't reinforce that enough. LMGs and the smoke wall. This is the anti-armored loadout that I'm using. Third one can be anti-armor or anti-air. because it has this as the secondary. You have aim guided. If any Battlefield devs are watching this, I would love to be able to have an optic on the missile after you fire it. If you because this is like a tow where you can steer it by guided wire. You should have an optic in it so you can steer it like an airplane rather than sitting in a turret trying to maneuver this thing and hope you hit something. It takes a lot of skill, but if you can build up that skill, I mean, you can steer these things around the corner of a building and still hit a tank. You're kind of blind, but you can do it. Or you can actually steer it toward aircraft or helicopters that are flying. I still haven't developed that skill much. So I rarely use this loadout. By the way, the other thing I want to talk about on the gunner, besides go with light machine gun, and we've talked about the heavy machine gun, we did not touch upon the grenade launchers. I think the grenade launcher is a steaming pile. It's a steaming pile of shit. You get 4 shots. You have to lob the shots in. It's not a straight fire, right? So it's like, lobbing a grenade or lobbing a mortar fire. It only fires 4, and then it takes it seems like an eternity, but it's probably like 3 to 5 seconds to reload. But again, your job as the gunner is to keep people away from the vehicle, right? You're trying to keep this vehicle from getting C4'd, or you're trying to keep people from RPGing it. You got to be able to fire quickly. And that pause in fire for the grenades is unacceptable, in my opinion, for the gunner's position. Period. Don't use it. I think if I jump in a vehicle and it has the grenades as the secondary gunner's position, I'll jump right back out. I'd rather have my my trusty MP5 than to try to fight with that grenade launcher. I think it sucks. So then we're going to switch over to the ATP, the armored transport. I use grenade intercept mainly because I'm still trying to get that challenge, intercept grenades. Light machine gun and a smoke wall. Again, this is a mobile spawn point. You need to treat it as such, right? Have that smoke wall so that you can get near the cap or get in the cap, lay the smoke, and allow people to spawn on it to cap the point. Your objective in any of these armored vehicles is to push and push and push. You need to push the point. You're a team player. You're not an individual player. So you need to be thinking about that. If you're in armor, you are support. You're acting as support. Your job is to support the team in capping the point. Okay, so with that said, let's get into it. Now, etiquette number 1. Don't use the tank or the IFV as a sniper platform. This guy beat me to the IFV. I got in as a gunner, and the whole squad pops in it, right? We're expecting this thing to push. We expect it to push to A or to B for us to cap and win the map. The guy who took the vehicle decided that he wanted to be a sniper, and he sits back in the back in no man's land, and he starts sniping.
I don't know. I'm in there, but I'm not driving.
You hear the team?
Oh, shit. This is looking bad already.
Yeah, it is.
Jump in.
Okay, so what they're saying, you need to be thinking blitzkrieg, right? Lightning offense, lightning attack. You should jump in these IFVs and you should be hauling ass for Alpha or Bravo to capture it. You don't want to give the opposing team time to set up anti-tank mines, M4A1 wall mounts, set a position, get into position for RPG attacks. You got to get in there quick. What this guy's doing is he's sitting back in a no man's land. He's sitting back by the spawn point, and he uses the IFV as a sniper platform. Now, look, every team could use a good sniper or two, but not in an armored vehicle. Okay? If you get an armored vehicle, your job is to, anyone? Bueller? Push. You need to push. And this guy sits back and he snipes with it. And unfortunately, he ends up being the #1 player on the game, but we lost because he wouldn't push. He sat back and sniped. He got a lot of kills, but he didn't push the objective. He didn't play the objective. And, yeah, he might be good, on his numbers, but he sucks at Battlefield. Go back and play Call of Duty. Battlefield is a team sport, like aerobics. Aerobics are a team sport, a spectator sport. If you're going to play individual, go play COD. If you want to play team, play Battlefield. And this jackass is a solo player. He is an individual, and there's no room for individuals in the military. If you don't believe me, go join the Marine Corps. Go join the Navy SEALs. First thing they're going to beat out of you is your individuality. If I can wrap my tongue around it, individuality. So let's watch this guy for a minute. And he just sits here. So I get frustrated. My squad is like yelling, we got to get out of here. We got to push. So I type to him, GTFO, the IFV. And apparently that, I basically gave him a wedgie because, boy, did he get spun up.
What is going on here? They're going to be so ready for us now.
And he basically tells me where to go right here. Which brings up vehicle etiquette number 2.
Don't be a dick.
So, don't be a dick. He's sitting back there and apparently he has so much time he can write a book and call me all kinds of names. But yet, and he's #1. I'll give him credit. He's a 180. He's up to 187, but he's an individual. He is not. He doesn't play the objectives, and to me, he's fucking worthless on a team. Number 3, don't bunch up. I don't know what it is. Whenever I'm, especially on this map, Mogadishu Mile, I get guys, man. They drive up my ass. It's like, you're not late for work. What are you doing? I guess they're in such a hurry that they got to get around me. They got to get in there so they can die fast. This guy crawled up my ass here, and when I'm backing off, when I start taking damage, you're going to see when I'm playing here, when I take damage, I back up. I back up far enough away where I can get out, or my gunner can get out and repair the tank. But when you crawl up my ass, and in fact there was another video not too long ago where an IFV did the same thing, crawled right up my ass. I couldn't back up, and then I lost the tank because I couldn't back up. Don't do this.
Watch your spacing.
All right, you heard the man. Don't bunch up.
Okay, so that's kind of your etiquette. This is driving the armored truck, armored transport, and in this vehicle you've got to have a good gunner. And right there, rules 1 through 10, push, push, push. And a good gunner is the difference between winning and losing. Now, my gunner right here is really funny. He jumps out. He jumps out of the truck to quote-unquote cap and abandons me. Don't abandon your post. I'm like, where the hell are you? I ended up having to switch over to the gun to try to defend the vehicle because...
I jumped out to get the zone.
See?
You did a good job, sir.
But in an armored truck, if you're driving, you don't have a gun. You got to have a gun. You have to have your gunners, especially the top mount. So we jumped back in, and we ended up capping. And see where that extra armor and the quick repairs and everything works. See how it works out. See how repairing. Look at the truck; it's repairing itself. Oh, and this is another thing. I don't know how many times I've got into an IFV or a tank or a truck, and I'm the gunner, and the driver just plows into no man's land and blows the truck.
You're not gonna believe this fucking guy. He left me. My gunner just took off right in the middle of the match. That'd be a great Wednesday Workout. There you go.
Congratulations.
Set myself up for that.
You're in it. And it helps if you have communication between yourself and your gunner, in which case I did with this guy. His name's Ed. And I would call out targets to him. And then he, like right here, when we pull into this hangar, I'm calling out the targets because I have an outside view while he's gunning. And I'm like to our left, to our right. There's a guy outside the building, watch it. And we're in constant communication. And this, if you really want to be effective with your vehicles, you got to have a good gunner, but you have to have communication with them so that you can tell them, where the targets are, and when it's time to get out, you get the hell out. So, I still haven't lost this vehicle. Now, every time I'm defending this on this map, I'll take these vehicles out 4 or 5 times. Because people just don't know how to do it. So then we push C.
I'm ready.
Unfortunately, they're kind of waiting for me in here, and I get hit. So I'm yelling, "Get out! Get out! Get out!"
Look
So
at my score.
everybody jumped out. So watch his score.
My score right now.
See that score? He's number 1 because he's my gunner. Now we get in the tank. Rules 1 through 10. Push. If you're in armor, you push.
Oh, we got a tank right here.
That's with an HP round. I didn't use armor piercing yet. And there he goes.
Damn, not the jinx. I was like, I've never actually won a tank battle. Let's go. Ran right through that fucker.
So you can see there where the explosive rounds are effective against, infantry, right? Not just vehicles, but infantry. So it's a good all around. And if you're looking, I'm using light machine guns. That gun is firing almost constantly, and it's not overheating. Oh, it does, if you sit there and lay on it too long, but it recovers a lot faster than the HMG. Always remember to blow up the anti-tank tow platforms there. Don't leave them around where they can be used against you.
One guy in Bravo thinking he's slick.
And you just sit here and, you'll see here in a few minutes where the tank gets damaged pretty heavily. I don't stay and keep pushing the fight, man. Man's got to know his limitations, according to Clint Eastwood, right? So
there's like a glitch. All
you gotta
I do is kill these guys trying to get that ladder.
You got to know what your tank's limitations too. When you start, when you're damaged enough, you better back off, or you're going to lose the tank, and your team needs it. Look at that, I took, 3 RPGs, I'm still going? 4?
You're leaving the battlefield. Return to combat.
Call out the train. Are the classrooms? Where? I don't see anybody.
See, the light machine guns kill people just fine, and it's not overheating. It takes a lot more to overheat.
Oh, I see them now.
And it recovers a lot quicker than the HMGs. See right there, if you were paying attention, the LMG did overheat because I was laying on it too heavy, but it recovered almost immediately. HMG, you're sitting there for 2-3 seconds waiting for it. See, blow the toe. Blow the toe. Is that a new mug? Blow the toe. And so just like, it's either trying to get up to me to C4 me or to get up close to the vehicle, right?
Hey, park it right in C.
So just like that, the armored truck, armored transport, when I pull in, I get hammered again. And right here, you're going to see the tank be on the edge. Well, I kind of get a little excited here, get a little, I'm all over the place. I thought those, for some reason I thought those would collapse if I ran over them, but they didn't. And for some reason I didn't, you know, next time I do this map, but if I ever crawl in here again, that corner, top left, I should have put a couple of HP rounds up there because they were hiding up there. But in the throes of battle, I didn't notice that.
I got one hide in this corner. Hold on, let me take him.
See right there, the truck. You know, if I kept pushing it, if I didn't have a plan on backing out and plan on backing out, I'd have lost that tank.
More.
See, I got out.
All right, I'm up.
And I'm telling Ed at this point to, you know, stay on the gun and keep people away from us while I'm healing it. The other thing that you need to know is on the repair torch, you see the needle on your fuel tank. If it goes down to red, look at that tank just went by, right? But if it goes down to red, you have to change the bottle. It takes longer to do that if you just lay off the tab long enough to, you know, for a second. So
If I died,
we got
might be good. That way I could make engineer.
with an HP round. I just blew that tank. Did you see that? So you don't need to be switching between, you know, the different types of ammo. It slows you up, right? You can't use the gun while it's changing ammo for a second or two. So I just found that HP is a pretty good universal.
You want to jump on and fix this thing?
And see, I'm backing up far enough where we can fix it without getting killed. Get into a safe spot. And as I was saying, watch. And it also helps if you carry an ammo crate so you can reload yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
For some reason, he decided he wanted to drive. And then when he backs up, he runs over my supply crate. That's why I don't let him drive. He drives like a chick. So watch the fuel gauge. If it gets down to red, it'll change the bottle. It's faster to let off and start up again than it is to change the bottle. So when, you know, if you're repairing, that's a little secret. See, when somebody's with a shoulder-mounted missile, you can hear that.
We're taking B, we're losing C now.
Right? That electronic warfare tells you
Pressing a C.
that you're about to get tagged. So if you have like smoke or you can get out of the way, I mean, he's basically telling you you're being painted. So that's why I like RPGs better.
Oh, boo! What the hell? I wasn't shooting. Okay, I'm gonna switch to engineer too, just in case.
And we're gonna win it here.
I don't see shit. We're
there
good.
we go. We won it. And that's how you win with armored vehicles. Now I got one more on the IFV. Normally I would have done it from like the weakest to the strongest, tank being the strongest.
Probably top team, I would think.
Number one squad.
Sure,
look at that.
enough.
Look at that. My gunner got 56 kills. And I got 34 kills with only 2 deaths. What'd I say? 10 times. I get 10 times more kills than deaths in vehicles. So, this is the IFV. Now, remember what I said? Push. You push. You push, push, push. You don't sit back and camp. So right here, I kind of take the corner of that building out and take out a few of them, and then we start plowing in. You don't sit back long. And this has got the rockets. See the light rockets? They go in there quick. See, bang bang. Great anti-perk. Take out the. So you take out the tow missiles, so they can't be used against you. And the other thing, and by the way, take out the building. And especially at Mogadishu Mile, when you get into that town, destroy everything. You don't want to give anybody room to hide. And then you lay smoke, right? That defeats your lock-ons. The other thing is when you're firing the IFV with the explosive rounds, watch the damage counter to the left. You keep firing until that hits 0. And see, I got popped right there, but I had 54 kills at that point with only 10 deaths. Okay, I was only 5x. But the game's not over yet.
Be advised, Alpha is under attack.
And I lost my gunner. Did you see that? Ed dropped off. I think if I remember right, his system rebooted or something. Damn PlayStations or Xbox, whatever he had. He got kicked. So now I'm without a good gunner. So it goes south. So here's one of the steerable ones. This is when I was playing with that stupid steering missile. And I'm just not good. Look at it. I didn't even hit him. I hit the dirt bank because that stupid thing. I just don't like it. I'm just not good at it yet. And see, I tagged him there. But at least with the tow one, you can snap fire it. Okay, you don't have to wait for a lock on. But you gotta get good at that steering him. See, I keep hitting the dirt embankment with that stupid steering rocket. And that's why I'm gonna lose this fight right here. If I was in a tank, I would have won that. Yeah, I keep hitting the dirt embankment. I'm not good with that steering one yet. But I'm up to 58 and 11. And this time it looks like I'm gunner. But this is an HMG. Look how fast this thing overheats. That's why I don't like it. LMG all day long, man. It doesn't overheat like this thing. You're constantly having to let off to let it cool down, or you get penalized with a couple of seconds of no gunfire. Yeah, this is someone else's vehicle. This isn't mine. And that is why I don't like the HMGs. Okay, I can cut a tent or a light bulb back down, but it doesn't stop that overheating, and it doesn't kill any better than the than the LMGs. So that's it. We've run our course. We're recycling. Thanks for watching. Leave comments below. I love reading your comments. If you have any suggestions for future videos, I am all ears. And with that being said, this is SeaBear out.